Hey guys, welcome back. Good morning. Oh, you know what? I'm really liking my bangs now. I know that was like a side quest comment. I don't know. Anyways, if you're new here, my name is Destiny. I have been on YouTube for 8 years as of July, so here in a couple of weeks. And I want to do a Q&A. I have my phone. This is my old phone, as you could tell. Like, it's old. It's not old. It took a crap one day because it got dropped in water a lot of times, and then it just decided to randomly work. That was like 3 years ago. So I have got the questions pulled up on my old phone. I'm logging off on my newer phone that I've had for 3 years. And for some lighting, I have these like little clip lights. They're called like reading shirt clip lights, hat clip lights. Like I couldn't really get a definite search when I looked on these on Amazon. But yeah, so I'm gonna use this as light. This is a pink one. I have other ones I ordered with it. And then dry brighter. I don't want to blind you guys. And then like flashing. The blue one that I have. Okay, so they clip like this, right? On your shirt. And they're great because like you can crochet and stuff with them. Not like trying to sell y'all nothing. I'm just telling you what I'm about to be using for a light. So hold on. So I got a 2-pack of, or I got one of these, and then I got a black one, and then I got a 2-pack of these. And these have a little button in the middle. This is the one I was using last night. So it's got brighter light, strobe light, police light, and then like off. So these are cool too. They're rechargeable. I gotta charge. It's bright, but I just want to charge it. Anyways, I got those yesterday. Love them. So as of to the questions, I wanted to do this. The kids are in camp today. It's a 5-week camp program. They come home every day, and then I take them and drop them off, like every morning, and I pick them back in the afternoon. So this was the kickoff for the summer camp this year. This is my youngest, first camp ever. Last year, my older 2 kids did it. I don't remember if they did it the year before. I don't think they did. No, I don't think they did. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. I am working on a shawl. Let me show you the yarn that I am using. Let me grab one out of the back. I just want to get this and tell y'all. That way you guys can know before I start answering actual questions. So this one's burgundy and the Lion brand yarn, Mandela Grande, and then I got a burgundy color. Hold on. As I said, I wanted light, right? Okay. What am I doing? I'm going to use this one. This is the one I was going to use. So I'm going to set this behind you guys for some light. Does that work? That should work. But this is the yarn color. It is like light colors of pink, like a whitish pink, and then it goes into this darker like brunette kind of color, like a brunette pink. And I'm using that one, and then I'm using, so this is burgundy, and then I'm also using a it's a burgundy color. It doesn't say burgundy, I can't pronounce it, but it's Red Heart Super Saver Walmart brand yarn. But I am making a shawl with it, and I'm kind of like rigging it when I do this. Now, I made shawls before. They came out absolutely perfect and fantastic. This one, I started with a chain 3. So I chain 4, connected, chain 3. And then I did 12 double crochets around. And then what I did was, instead of joining it together to make a circle, I sat there and I chained 2, and then I did a double crochet in each stitch till I got to the 6th one. And then I put 2 double crochets on each side, like on that 6th chain, that 6th double crochet. I did 2, chain 2, 2, and then I did that, and I got to the end, chain 2, chains, and flipped, chain, or went back into that stitch. And then that's just what I did all the way around. And then I did a shell stitch because, listen, I wanted to see how this would play up, and that's what I'm doing. So I did like a shell stitch here, and I'm thinking, because like I did the bobble stitch later on, but see how it's kind of like wavy, which it's fine. It's cool because this will be down at the bottom, right? Like this is the top. So this, like, well, it might be over my shoulders, but it gives it like a little bit of more room to be drapey if it needs to be. But I'm thinking if I do the shell stitch, because I want to put that on the border, if I do the shell stitching, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to go into that stitch before they start, and then I'm going to maybe like slip stitch over to the middle one, right? Do double crochet, slip stitch down into the where like you connect it with that single crochet, and then like do that, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm hoping y'all are understanding, but I knew that it would be increases of 5 when I did that, so I just don't know. Like I've done that stitch on like these coasters, right? But I never did it around. So I'm playing with it, right? Okay. So first question is, what is my name? My name is Destiny. How many kids do I have? I have 3. And I have 3 kids. I'm not gonna go into much detail about them because it's YouTube. However, I have 3 kids. I have 2 boys and a girl, and they are doing well. They're great. One of the questions I had was, am I married? Yes, I am. How many times have I been married? 2. I was married to my older kids' dad, and I have other videos on that. I'm not bad mouthing him or talking bad about him or nothing like that. That's not none of that. Okay. But yeah, things didn't work out. It was a very toxic relationship. Left, saving the life of myself and my 2 kids, my 2 older kids. And then I met my husband. I was going through a nasty divorce. Like, it wasn't nasty. I was going through a divorce, and it took 8 years. It just crazy. Took 8 years because they were trying to find him, hunt him down, and stuff like that. And I finally officially got divorced in 2024, November of 2024. And then me and my husband, we've been together for 6 years. Yeah, wow, 6 years. We just got married in January. So, yeah, it was a long time coming. We were waiting. Everybody was waiting for us to get married. We were like, let's get this over with. Which I will answer that as to why we got married so soon. More detail in another question. Okay, so my favorite color is, at this point right now, my favorite color is pink. I absolutely love pink. Just different shades of pink. It just, like, I love all the colors. Recently I was messing with this yellow. The yellow that I just showed you, this one. And I really like this yellow color. It's really pretty. I'm not one to gravitate towards yellow, honestly, but like, my thing is if I think it is pretty and it looks good on me or, somebody else, I'm not gonna like put somebody in a bubble and be like, girl, you only look good in like this color, or you don't look good in that color. No, it might be like the shade, or just, well, I'm not gonna tell somebody that they don't look good in something. You know what I'm saying? It's not my place. It's fine. Okay. How old am I? I am 28. I'll be 29 in August. I cannot believe that. Like, I started YouTube when I was 21. My goodness. Okay. That's crazy. Sorry, I'm looking at the questions. What am I wearing? Okay, kind of, I'll answer it. I am wearing a pair of stretchy shorts. They're like, they look like they're jean. Well, they're jean material, but they're stretchy jean material. And that's what I'm wearing. I'm wearing socks, and I am wearing this. I am wearing this shirt. It says "Save the Children in Human Trafficking." I got this shirt when, oh my goodness, I cannot remember the name of the island that it was happening on. It was like the I always say when I say Epsom salt, but the Epstein Island. Anyways, this woman was part of the whole crew. I'm moving this. It's bothering me. Anyways, she was putting together a fundraiser to help with that, and to my best recollect knowledge, I'm not, there's people out there that will like do something to make money and profit. I don't think that happened. But yeah, this is what that came from. I think I got it in 2020, 2021. I can't remember when that all went down. I know my youngest was born at that point. Okay. Have you ever been in love? Actually, yes, I have. I've been in love. I've been in love, like maturity wise, twice. I've been in love with my ex husband, and I've been in love with my husband now. Um, have you ever had a terrible breakup? Actually, yeah, I have. Being a teenager, those breakups are horrible, but looking at them at an adult level, that was crazy. um, yeah. Um, I don't think the initial breakup with my ex-husband was bad or terrible. It was mostly like the stalking and the violence and the harassment and um just yeah. My kids are protected, by the way. They're safe now. They've been safe. Okay. um how tall am I? You guys, I am 5 foot. I am 5 foot. I'm 5 foot even. Let's see. I don't know how much I weigh. Last time I like officially weighed myself was when I had my hip surgery in January. So I think at that point I was like 190. I was 189 or 190 when I had that right before I had the surgery, and then because I got my pelvic floor done, I have metal, like my left half of my pelvic floor is metal, my hip socket's metal, and then the rod going in my leg is metal, along with that socket joint piece is all metal. So that in itself was like 5 pounds or something. Yeah, it was crazy. Um oh, do I have any tattoos? Yes, I do. Um before I show you this tattoo, this is a double questioned um like it's a double question at this point. I'm gonna answer both. So it's, do I have any tattoos, and then how did I get it? Okay, so well, I'll show you. So this tattoo right here on my arm, okay, it is off centered. It goes over here. It's supposed to be in the middle of my arm, like right here, and you can see that it does not. It's crooked. It is closed up in spots on the heart where it's not supposed to be. I know, like, you can't really see it. The penmanship is not straight, and the bottom point is not straight. It like curves. Let me tell you how I got this. Oh, it stresses me out. Okay, so my daughter was born in October, and that December, that December, I just brought it up when I was with my ex-husband. I was like, "Hey, um I I'm thinking I kind of want to go through with getting a tattoo." And his uncle had a tattoo set thing, and I kind of didn't want to go that route. But they were like, yeah, you should do it. Come down to the house. Like, it's great. It's good. It's fine. You know, he knows what he's doing. And I've seen some of the work that he did. And I'm like, yeah, cool. You know? So I just went down there to hang out. My ex husband went first. And I forgot what he got. I think he got a cross. Now, he's had plenty of jail tattoos. Like, okay, listen. Does that explain to you? Okay. Um, he got a couple of jail tattoos and things like that. And anyways, I'm there. And I don't know. You want to get tattoos, that's your thing, whatever. But basically, what happened was they did something simple. It wasn't lined up. I was kind of like scared out of my mind. I was wanting to back out. But basically, like, my ex husband held my arm. And I was like, nah, this hurts. Like, I don't want to do this. Like, I have a high pain tolerance, but when I'm getting punctured in my arm 50 billion times, I don't want to go through with it. But I wanted to finish it because I didn't. Yeah. Anyway, so when they started, he put it on there, and then he like. No, I apologize. He took deodorant. Rubbed it on my arm, smacked it on there, rubbed it in. I can't remember if he put deodorant on top of that or not, but he like smacked it on there, rubbed it in, kind of, you know, to get it on there, pulled it off, and then started doing the tattoo. And it's off centered, it's like janky. I was not smoking, I was not doing anything. Like, I just, no. But yeah, the person that did it was intoxicated. Yeah, stupid. I literally, when I was getting that tattoo, um, I felt I felt so convicted. I felt like, mind you, I was 21 at this point, guys. I felt so bad. I felt like something in myself break. I was highly convicted. I'm like, okay, I'm a Christian. I do have people in my family that have tattoos. Um, and I like my grandfather is a Christian. He got his tattoos and everything when he was Catholic before converting over. And I just didn't feel okay. I felt like it just and my whole inner being, I kind of felt like my childhood was being ripped away, even though I already had two kids. I was married, had two kids, and, but it did not feel the way that they described it was going to feel. So that was like a double sword. One of them that I got was, what is my screensaver? So this is my old phone, right? Mind you. Here is little tiny baby Pippin when he was in the tub. Look how little he was. Look how little. He's so tiny. Oh gosh. He's so big now. Oh, I'll start putting my new password in. Okay, my phone locked. Let's see. Any piercings? Not at the moment but I do have my ears pierced. I did have my nose pierced at one point, and then I think it was this one up here, the helix. I've had that pierced. Let's see. Favorite show. I don't have a favorite TV show, but I do have like favorite movies, I guess you would say. My favorite movies would be any of the Ice Age movies, any of the Muppets, like the Muppet TV shows, the Muppets. I know I'm kind of weird, right? Muppets TV shows, Muppet movies. I do love the movie Passion of the Christ. It's not one that I'll sit there and watch all the time, but I do like that one. I do like The Help. I do like trying to think of them. Yeah, I like that one. There's just different ones I like. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then YouTube people that I really like watching Tribe of Many, Danielle Christie, Judah and Katie, Cog Hill Farm, Arms Family Homestead, Weedham and Reap, Danielle Holland, I think her name is, Bailey Sarian, and oh my goodness, I am drawing a blank, and I know her name. She just got married, became her husband's last name is Cooper, so she just became Cooper. Anyway, she worked for the Daily Wire, and her best friend like basically jerked her over on that. I'm drawing a massive blank. What is her name? Brett Cooper. I was trying to think, like, because like usually the name Brett is for like boys, so I was like thinking, I'm like, what is the unisex name? Anyways, Brett Cooper. I like watching her too. There's other ones, but like those are my repetitive go back and watch. Oh, and then Tony Crochets. I think that's her name. Her name is Tony. She is a African American woman who crochets. She has her own business. I love watching her. And Bag a Day Crochet. I watch her too. Let's see. Favorite bands. Okay, I got a confession. When I was, gosh, I think I was like 10 or 11 when Justin Bieber came out. And I told everybody that he was my husband. I do like him. I do like Justin Bieber. I don't like his like new music. But yeah, I was just telling my kids the other day. They were like, how old is Justin Bieber? And I'm like, same age as me. And they were like, do you actually really know him? I'm like, yeah. Even though I don't. I was like, yeah, we have a kid together. And they was like, no, I'm the oldest. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, kind of like, like you, like, not indirectly, but like playing or joking around, like you kind of gaslight your kids a little bit, just messing with them. That's what I was doing. Current favorite bands. I don't really have a favorite band, but I do like the song Cliche by Machine Gun Kelly. I love the movie, or I love the song How Can You, is it How Can You Not? Maybe How Can You Not See God by, her name is Leanna. I think it's like Leanna Crawford, I think, maybe. I like her. I love the song, Blessed. I cannot remember who does it, but it's like, bless me, bless me, bless me, God in need. So, so I can help the ones around me. And then, favor, favor, favor just for me. So I'm the conversation of all my enemies. I like that song. I like the song King of Kings, Mary Did You Know? Yeah, I like a lot of Christian music. And then I've also been listening to Rascal Flatts. I think it was Monday I was listening to Rascal Flatts on the way home. I just like, it is what it is. Okay, let's see. I already answered that one. The qualities that I looked for in my husband Daniel. Okay, listen. I went through a very bad relationship, and I had the same values and morals that I was looking for in my ex-husband. It just, people get played. People's true colors don't come out until later on. And what happened was, I was 16 when I got pregnant with my oldest. And a couple of weeks after I got pregnant with my oldest, wasn't my husband at the time, he went to jail for things that he did. And he was facing 20 years in jail. Like, yeah. Like, my oldest would have not seen him until he was possibly like 21. It's crazy. Anyways, I tried to make the relationship work because what I was looking for, he said that that's what he that's who he was. He said he didn't want to be like his dad. And yeah. So anyways, I was looking for someone that I grew up in a broken home that wasn't broken. Okay? So like my parents didn't raise me. My great-grandparents did. And they were married. They were married before we were together. However, my grandfather was not biologically related to any of us, but he stepped up when my grandmother's kids, when her youngest was 5. Okay? And they were married. My grandmother was married before him and they split up, right? And then he took on the stepdad role because of how toxic um he was her biological father was to all the kids. Biological husband, biological father to her kids. And they raised me. So I didn't grow up in a broken home per se, but I wasn't raised by my mom and my dad. So I was wanting to do the right thing and not be in a broken home. I wanted, to be married to my husband that I have my kids with. I wanted to go through thick and thin. Had to have a job. Had to, share the same beliefs that I did. Just be the husband that God has called us to be, and how it's supposed to be. And it was everything but that. So with Daniel, I told him, I was like, someone that goes to church, someone that reads their Bible, someone that prays together, um, that really values family first, the family you created. Um, and I told him, I was like, my kids don't have a father. They don't. I was like, you would be stepping up and taking that role that, yeah, that they're not biologically your kids, but they basically would be the father that they don't have. And I wasn't forcing him into that role. I was just being open and honest. And he was like, absolutely, like I love kids. And he's a damn good father. Um like we got together when my oldest was 5 turning 6, and my youngest, well, now my middle child, she was 2 turning 3. So 2 and 5. And now they're almost 9 and 12. But yeah, and he had his job for 10 years at that point. Just like I wasn't demanding like somebody with money, somebody with a hat, just set and straight. That's what like I was just looking for. And I wasn't want somebody that would take care of us, but you know. Let's see. I answered that one. I answered that one. Let's see. Oh, here's one. Where do you go when you get sad? Okay. I don't really go anywhere when I get sad. I I don't know. Like maybe I'll go in my room. Um I might like go in my car. Sometimes like I try not to let my kids see it, but it's funny. Like I don't really have a moment to be sad and cry. Um my oldest, I love him. We like he's not off. Like I'm not trying to say this, but he wasn't develop like he's a great kid. And everything, but there was just things that wasn't right ever since he was an infant, and I was just like, guys, he's not sleeping at all. He never slept in the, like he don't sleep in the night. His like his temper tantrums and meltdowns and like outbursts are just out of control, and impulsiveness and things like that, and just there was a lot, okay? And I've been advocating for him ever since he was 3, because some babies don't sleep during the night, okay. Been advocating since he was 3. He was diagnosed with ADHD and ODD when he was 5, but things just didn't get better. And I'm like, guys, something's not right. So literally this August or this April, we had an incident where it put people at risk, and I had to like put him in a treatment placement for a little bit. It was like 10 days is what it was. They got him on mood stabilizers, and they noticed like things weren't right fully. So we went to go see the doctor or the therapist that we psychiatrist therapist that we were referred to, and he was diagnosed with high functioning autism, mood problems, and he very well may have to be on mood stabilizers till he's older, or like all the way throughout his life. Um, he is developmentally, like, he's super smart. IQ super high. Impulsiveness, and I think he's like 5 years behind. Like, like the impulsivity. So like he's 11, so he's like technically like 4 or 5. Um, his ability to answer questions, process emotions, and things right now, he's like 8. So my daughter, I'm getting into all this because I'm answering this question. My daughter, we think is like the same, but we gotta wait until she's 9 so she could start being seen by this guy. So he could start assessing her, because same thing. They're like, well, she has ODD and ADHD, and I'm like, oh, you don't understand, like, because they do have the same dad, and he's got 13 mental disorders apparently. So just there's like some of the same traits that I'm noticing, and since he's been on his medication and getting evaluated and taken care of, like there's been a big difference. Where I'm going at with this is not only him, but my daughter has a tendency of just giving nobody breathing space and wanting to do something with them 24/7. They can't do anything independently, and when they do, they're like, I'm done. It comes with it. So having a moment to cry, like, I don't get that moment. Okay. Um like, so on Saturdays lately, now that it's summertime and things like that, what I've been doing is I will leave when Daniel gets off of work, and I'll go out to my grandmother's house, the one that raised me. But when I go out there, I'm also dealing with my grandmother that has Alzheimer's and dementia, and she had 2 strokes. So I'm basically, I love her to death. I say absolutely no hatred, no nothing like this. But my grandmother is like my kids. Just like the constant questioning, thinking somebody doesn't like you, not being able to pick up on social cues anymore, really. Um Cognitive memory, responsing, um thinking people hate her when they don't, just because they get up and walk away, like to go to the bathroom, put their phone on charge, put something up. Just picking fights, and then like I have to be the mediator, because like she's the one that just, like, everybody loves her. It's not that, but it's like you can't repeat 50 billion times, grandma, they don't hate you, they're going to the bathroom. And then like, well, where'd this person go? That, like, I say this with love and sincerity because I'm an open, honest book. But yeah, I go down there, and you're like, well, guy, you should go somewhere else. Yeah, I should. However, I don't know how much longer my grandmother's got here on Earth, and I'd rather be out there. I would. My grandpa passed away 5 years ago as of the 12th. So that's hit home. Like, he's like my dad to me. So you gotta think, like, my grandma don't have my grandpa anymore. It's crazy. Crazy to think. Okay, switch subjects. And honestly, guys, like I'm out at my grandmother's basically any given chance that I get, like I can get. I'm like, that's just, I like, we live like 30, 35, 45 minutes apart, and I will take that trip both ways. Anyways, so plans for this week. Today is June 16th, and camp started, like I said. We also have VBS, which is Vocation Bible School. We'd go every year. I have missed a couple of years just to like things going on. The kids love it. So that starts Wednesday night. So it's Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, and then Saturday is family day. And Daniel's gonna be off. He took the time off from work to do VBS. Just because one, I cannot keep up. Like I am still recovering from surgery, and I still can't do steps. So with all that being said, Daniel is the one that, with the youngest, like if he wants him to tag along or whatever. I don't think he will this year, but maybe he might. I don't know. But yeah, so we're doing VBS this week. So schedule is out the door, and this is starting Wednesday because VBS starts. Out the door in the morning, getting 3 kids dropped off at 2 different schools. Both of them have to be dropped off by 8 o'clock. One child gets picked up at 1 o'clock. The other 2 get picked up at 2 o'clock. Then we go out to my grandmother's because my grandmother's house is like just right around the corner. Like it's not far. It's in the little town that she lives in with the church. And yeah, so we go to church every Sunday too. We make the drive to go out to church. But yeah, so basically go out to my grandmother's immediately after camp. And then eating dinner out at my grandmother's. We're going to pack some food and take it out there because I don't like to leave that burden on her. Like it's one person, there's 5 of us. But yeah, that. And then VBS starts at 6 and it's over about 8:30. Take my grandmother back home because I'm not going to have her walk back. So I take my grandmother back home, drop her off. And then we head back home. So that's 45 minutes. So we get home at like 9:30. Everybody goes to bed. We get back up and do it again. And then Saturday, we plan on going to Thornhill to watch our old pastor race his race car. He's got a race car that says Jesus Saves on it. Okay. Let me pull up my questions again. I know that was like long-winded, but I want to answer some of those questions. I completely forgot to answer this one. It said, why did you start this channel? So the reason why I started this channel has changed since I started this channel. Like it's been a couple years. The reason why I started this channel was not two-edged sword, but for 2 reasons. One, I knew that you could make money off of YouTube, but that's not the reason why I started per se. I wanted video documentations that, like, not every day, but mostly that, because mind you, I was going through an abusive relationship. So I was wanting to document the kids growing up. And I mean, like, they were little, and I didn't put them on there unless they wanted to be. But more so over the years now that they're older. But I wanted to just document, like, when we would go to the store, I did like grocery hauls of what we got. And the fact that it was me and the kids, like, he didn't have anything to do with it. When we'd go out, he wasn't around. Like, making the memories with my kids so they can look back and watch it. But I didn't say that he wasn't in the videos. Like, I wasn't trying to document it as like a victim going, look at this, my husband's not with me, or look, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't do none of that. But I had video evidence and proof that if I ever had to go to court to defend my kids, which I've had to, but I didn't have to use them, I sat there and I was able to have like documentation and proof that, like, no, he wasn't there, or just like having to go get a car if we needed it, like who paid for it, whatever. Um, just evidence, basically, but mostly like for us to look back and watch. Over the years, it has turned into just like what we're doing, sitting down. I crochet while the kids are at school because, I mean, like, I've had a messed up hip. I have Charcot-Marie tooth, which is a neuromuscular crippling disease, and I had my hip replaced. So I had a bad hip all my life, and then I had my kids. I was pulled off the back of a bus, 36 weeks pregnant, with my oldest in a bus practice drill. I was supposed to go out the front of the bus, but I had a administrator pull me off the back of the bus. Henceforth, how my pelvic floor fractured, and that was 11 years ago. I just got my hip replaced. Okay, my hip and my pelvic floor. Um, so yeah, and then two more kids. It's just, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, just now, it's just to like hang out with you guys, fill in, do fun things. If my kids want to be on camera, they're on camera. If they don't, they're not. Um, yeah, that's like basically why I started it. Then there's the fact that, yeah, there's just that. Daniel's not really on camera. Daniel's usually at work, and I don't put him on camera unless he wants to be on camera. Same thing, which he's like kind of an introvert and stuff like that. Um, do I love reading? I absolutely love reading. My problem, well, it's not a problem. It's a good problem. Um, we are supposed to be on the straight and narrow, and I need to follow those rules and abide by them. Y'all could be like, well, it's a cult. No, it's not a cult. Okay. Um, I feel that like horror movies and like books and things like that, and like TV shows now, man, and the agendas that they have on the kids, I just, and on society, I just, it's not okay, like forcing us to follow the narrative that, teaching these kids to be transgender, they're not who they're born to be, things like that. I just, here's my thing. When it comes to books, I don't want to read any books that have to deal with like magic or smut and spice, as they call it, because if I like to be the one that if I can't pick up a book and us genuinely enjoyably read it together without accidentally stumbling across something, I don't want to read it. I like wholesome books. I like Amish retellings of like princesses and things like that. I like faith-based books. I really love reading the Bible. I haven't read my Bible, I know. I haven't read it in a while. I'll admit to that. Like I don't know. Shame on me. I need to read my Bible more. But yeah, I just know that like it's a portal. It's a portal to things, and people may not see it. People mock and laugh, but it's a portal. I think I'm going to answer one more question. Let me see. Let's see. Have I ever done drugs? I smoked weed when I was younger, but like I didn't like it. I didn't smoke it as much. I actually got I was smoking weed one time and it was laced. I was smoking it with this guy and it was so bad. I had to go to the hospital. It was so bad. Yeah, that was fun. I think I was 16 at the time. Okay. Do I give second chances? Okay, I have kids. I have to give second chances. Um, we are called to forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive, but at the same time, like you don't have to forget. Forgive, forgive and forget in the instance where it's not eating you alive. My AC kicked on and it scared daylights on me. Okay. Um, Forgive and forget in enough where it's not eating at you every day and you're constantly bringing it up, but you don't have to forget. Like, there's things that go on in this house because we have battles just like anybody else's house, and I will forgive my kids. But I do know that like if stealing or lying happens, I will forgive, and I will forget where it doesn't eat at me, but at the same time, like, I have to remind them that you cannot do that. Like, that's not okay. As of adults, I will be nice to you. I just, after a while, I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to distance myself. I'm not going to hate you. I'm not going to not talk to you. I'm not going to treat you any less than any person, you know? But there's just boundaries. I think when it comes to chances, there has to be boundaries. When you cross that threshold and I can't trust you, I just I can't trust you. I will love you. I will communicate with you. If you need help with something, I'll help you. But there's now even bigger boundaries, and you're not allowed to cross that. Does that make sense? Just to sum it up. Um, I'm trying to find one that like this one says, "Have you ever kissed anybody?" Obviously. um. Ooh, last thing I bought. Let's see. Very last thing I bought was I was at Walmart. So it was no, I bought gas. The last thing I bought was gas. That was Saturday. My daughter was with me. But, oh! I feel like I should kind of save this for another video. But I am going to put this in here. Saturday morning. I've never had this happen. I am not saying that, because people are like, well, I never thought it would happen to us. Okay. No, I thought that, but at the same time, I'm about to tell you what it was. However, where Daniel works and everybody knows us, like, even we don't live in a small town, but like everybody knows everybody, right? Okay. So we get up at like 5 in the morning. We leave out the door like 5:30. Walmart opens at 6. So I had to run in there. I wanted to get everything done because later, once when Daniel got home, me and my daughter, me and Obs, would be leaving to go out to my grandmother. So I was trying to get the shoes that they needed for camp. I was trying to get like some snacks and groceries, and things like that. Just that way Daniel didn't have to do it. I didn't have to meet him when there was no parking in the middle of the day with it hot. Just the whole 9 yards. Well, we get in there and everything. There's like hardly anybody in there. We were like the second person in the store besides like the employees. And Daniel was already there because Daniel works 4 to 1s. Okay, so we're walking around the store, and I'm not to think anything. Like, people need the same things we get: fruits, vegetables, meat, food, diaper, wipes, shoes, like, whatever, okay? So as we're walking around the store, this guy is following us, and Aubrey noticed it first, but she didn't say nothing to me. And then she goes down the aisle, and I am not the one to leave my kids in the store. That is not what I'm saying. I will safely, like, if my kid darts down another aisle, I will tell them to come on, let's go. And I will go up just a little bit more, maybe like an aisle or 2 up, and wait for them because, it's kind of thing like they don't want to be left behind. And I'm not about to sit there and argue with you because ODD. So this guy is watching us and everything, and I go a couple aisles up, and I'm actually at this point, like, I'm a little bit past the, like, where the entrance comes in at, where like all the aisles meet together to go like left, straight, and right, and and I'm like, come on, let's go, talking to my daughter, and this guy's watching, and I happen to just like turn my head a little bit to make it look like I wasn't watching him. And I turn my head, and here comes my daughter out of the cosmetics department because she went from one aisle to the next. And she comes out, and he almost snatched her, like he was trying to grab her by her jacket. And I said, Obs, let's go. And he knew that I was watching. At that point, like, he seen that I was watching him, and he like let her go and walked on. Then he went to the women's section, and he was watching us, and I told my husband about it, and he was with an employee, and I said it loud enough so a lot of people could hear us. and I was describing them, and my husband told me to go find the person that we know over in that department, however they weren't in yet. Well, I was going to go up to the front and say something, like right after I checked out, because at that point I was checking out. And here he comes. So I went to go get a 20 out of the self-checkout. I wasn't even out of the store 5 minutes. And I say this because like, my kids' safety is more important than money, right? Like, and I forgot about that point. Like, I seen that he was right there behind us at another register. I was trying to get the kids. I was trying to, like, just, there was a lot going on, safety-wise. Walk out of the store, walk back in the store, that $20 was gone. Nobody turned it in. I had to go up to the front. You know, everybody knows us. Like, I mean, come on. At this point, my husband's worked at that store for almost 17 years at this point. Yeah. So I go up there, nobody turned it in, so we were short $20. Which, $20 over a kid getting kidnapped, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? But principle is, principle done. Kind of mad, kind of upset. But yeah, that's what happened Sunday or Saturday, and I'm not very happy about it, but it is what it is. My daughter's safe, she's at home. I did report it. The guy was already gone at that point, but they do have a description of him. Yeah. And see, Daniel, you know, as a dad, you will do anything to protect your children regardless, right? And I'm not saying nothing bad about this, but he was on the clock. And to the given eye, if he was to walk up and say something to this person or get into an altercation as a Papa Bear does, it would have looked really bad. Okay? And I know, you know, like, you're going to say, well, I don't care if I'm on the clock. I don't care anything like that. But I had to go through the proper steps that I had to go through. And it took everything in Daniel, who was very quiet, who doesn't get into altercations, who's very, like, he's not passive aggressive, nothing like that. Just, we don't do violence. We don't do altercations. We don't do that in this house. And, yeah. I know. Because, like, when he got home, he was like, if I would have seen him, or if I was off the clock, he said I would have definitely said something. Like, if he was in there shopping with us, and that man tried to pull something, not even pull something, but following us, he would have went off and said something and confronted him. But at the same time, he wasn't trying to lose his job, because, you know, people try to flip the narrative on what happened and things. What was I gonna say? I guess that's it. This is a pretty long video, pretty big Q&A. My eyes are starting to hurt from this little light. Like, look, it's bright. But yeah, I'm gonna take a break. Trying to turn this off. But yeah, true story, really happened. This Saturday, actually, we're all going. I'm not going to my grandmother's by myself. That'll be next weekend. But yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and give us a big thumbs up. Bye, guys.